storm. As you just heard, more than 100,000 people have been asked to flee. Many more are standing by assessing the situation closely. This is the case for Maggie Langrick. She is originally from Vancouver. She now calls Los Angeles home, and she joins us. Maggie, we understand you've been very busy in the past few minutes packing, getting ready. What is happening around you right now?
Yeah, well, I was worried that this was going to be a dumb little interview because I've been sitting on my thumbs all day just going like, oh, this is not affecting me. I'm not really involved. It's, 10 miles away. But about 20 minutes ago, my neighbors and my phone blew up with texts from friends who are on those various apps watching for, alerts and things. And apparently the fire is now in Runyon Canyon, which is in the Hollywood Hills and about 2 miles from my home. So neighbors are packing their car. I'm looking around and wishing that I had been a little more alarmist earlier in the day. Like you don't want to overreact, but you don't want to underreact.
Are you able to smell smoke? Are you hearing sirens? What's happening right now?
Yeah, so I've been smelling smoke all day. I went for a walk this morning and the sky is looks like the apocalypse and, it smells like a campfire everywhere you go. So you kind of just chalk it up to that's happening across town. And, your concern goes for the people that are directly involved. And, I've been feeling really sheltered from it. I can hear sirens and I can hear helicopters, which in a way is a good sign because it means that the helicopters are able to fly again. Earlier in the day and last night, I really noticed that I wasn't hearing helicopters. And I think that that's partly because the winds were so high. I don't think that they were able to fly. Hearing helicopters in LA is a very, sort of almost like a daily event. So they're kind of notable when they're not present.
We know the mayor of Los Angeles has been warning people they must be ready to evacuate. You've not been ordered to leave. We understand you live in Beechwood Canyon, near that Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
What is your
I live
plan?
in Beechwood Canyon, directly under the Hollywood sign. And what that means is that I'm in a residential area that's adjacent to a large wilderness park. The Hollywood sign and Griffith Observatory are in Griffith Park. I think it's 600 acres of brush land and, beautiful hiking trails, which I enjoy every weekend. And so where we are, we're surrounded by concrete streets, but there's also like a giant tinderbox just up the hill from here.
For people watching this in California, in LA, but beyond and here in Canada, what do you want friends and family to know and understand about the situation there?
It's one of those things where when you see it I've been watching the news all day long. And when you see it on the news, it just feels like it's literally everywhere, but it isn't. There are large swaths of the city, like I said, where it's kind of business as normal. I mean, an hour and a half ago, I went to the grocery store and people were just standing in line and buying food. It wasn't like that panic buying that we saw in the early days of the pandemic. So I guess what I want friends and family to know back home is that it isn't like that sort of hellscape everywhere you turn. It is localized. It is dreadful for the people in the communities that are directly affected. And, it looks like, some of my neighbors are now to be counted in those numbers. But it's not everywhere. The other thing that I really want to say is thank God for local news. I've been glued to Spectrum One News all day. Watch it all the time. I'm often watching the national news, but it's times like this when you really realize first responders, and that includes reporters and journalists like yourself, just being out there in the field. We absolutely rely on those agencies and on local news, on local journalism to tell us what to do and what's happening.
Maggie Langrick, we appreciate your time. Please stay safe, and we may check in with you later on. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.